Hey everybody. So last time we got our show edit form button working, and it shows this. And now we want to start working on the form itself. The forms are going to get more and more difficult to work on. And at this point, they're more difficult because uh, uh, we're going to start. I'm going to start adding the styling in on top of it, the material design styling. So just the what it means to create a form is becoming bigger. But since I'm going to be working in editing mode, I'm just going to set the default to editing so that I don't have to hit the button every time. And let's get started. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to add a div here and add a form. And then I'm going to create an input just to kind of make sure everything's working. All right, that looks good. And now I am going to go to Angular Material and go here. And then I'm going to go to the components and go down to the form inputs or form fields and go to the examples. And this is what I want, something like this, but I don't want the icon. So I'm just going to grab this thing and I'm just going to replace my input with this one. And then kind of work backwards. Okay, so I don't want the icon, so I'm going to do that. And these red things generally mean that you have inputs that you have not, or modules that you have not imported. Normally, you can just go to the APIs and grab the module there, but this one actually is a collection of modules, and it's this mat input module and the mat form filled module. Um, so I think the form field modules has like all the stuff in general for form fields, and then the input module is specific for the input, which is what we're using. So I think if we were to add, like, if we're going to use the select drop down or something like that, then we would need to pull in a select drop down module. But I'm just going to do this because I know there's at least one more module coming, the reactive forms module. So I'm going to do that so we have a little more room. And I'm going to save that. And then that's awesome. And then we are not breaking, so that looks good. And we have this, so that's nice. And so now we want to do the field of view. And we call it FOV, so just put that in there. And then we don't need a placeholder, I don't think. And we need some hint text, so I'm just going to go to a new thing, kill this old thing, this old tab, and say, what is a field of view? And then a field of views, the range of the observable world visible at any given time. So I don't think time is really a issue at this point. When we go to animations, it'll be an issue. Is it the range of the observable world that is visible? Do not know if that's grammatically correct, but ChatGPT could help. But let's go ahead and skip that step for now. Okay, so that's too small. So I'm going to create a style for the map form field. I'm going to set the width to 400 just because I've run through this a few times before and 400 was nice. 400 might have been a bit big, but we have more things coming. So yeah, so that's good. Okay, so now that's good, and we have it looking right, but we need to get the data. And so I'm going to use a reactive form just because it's easier to um, easy to manage the data changes and stuff like that. I think it's called reactive form module. Yep. And then going to create a new thing, a new variable called form, and it's going to be a form group. And it's a new form group. And form group did not automatically import, so we'll have it import it for us. And then I believe that it wants, yeah. So now we are going to say that this is, we know we want an FOV one. So I'm going to say FOV, and then I'm going to say new, is it input form? Form. I always have to go look at something else. And form control. Form control. And I'm going to default that to 0 for now, just to basically force it to be a number. And it seems to default to string if you don't do that. So I'm going to come in here, and when we get the camera item, I'm going to set the value. So is it red up there? No. So I'm going to say this dot form dot set value, and then I'm going to pass it in this thing, and I'm going to say FOV, and that is equal to this dot camera item dot FOV, and that's that. And then so now let's come over here, and let's just tell it that the form, to calculate the form group. So we put parentheses because that's telling it to calculate the form group based on the data in the TypeScript. And we called it form. So that's good. And then I'm getting rid of this altogether. And now I'm going to tell it that the name of the input file, so the form input, form control name, form control name is equal to FOV. And then boom, we have our data, and we still have 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and at least make the form. Now let's go ahead and pull it in. So the next one is aspect ratio. And I'm going to say that's a new form control. And default it to 0. And then we're going to say aspect ratio. Did I call it aspect ratio up here? Yep. Ratio is equal to this dot camera item dot, and we call it aspect. So I'm going to try to stay, and I call it ration again. I'm going to try to stay consistent on that. It's just no reason to add an extra moving part there. And then let's go ahead and, where are ya? That was weird. Okay, I guess I control X that or something. I'm going to add a new form field. And I'm just going to call this aspect. I'm going to call this aspect ratio up here. Man, I have a hard time not putting it. And that's right. Okay, so we want to add a better hint text. Let's see. What is aspect ratio? And then the ratio of the width to its height. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Oh, we're out of time. So I'm just going to finish that up real quick. See, oh, 2 T's, extra comma. Thought I was saving time. The ratio of the width to its height. Ratio of an image's width to its height. I think that works. All right, so that's a good way to end this video. We have a few more fields to fill out, and then we can start updating it, and then we'll get to play around with these, playing around with aspect ratios and field of view and stuff like that. Probably be a good idea. Yeah, there's just all kinds of good ideas. So anyways, yeah, happy coding. That was fun. Bye.